Come on, yeah. And then we come on and do one for sure. And then to pull the lever and knock me in the back again when he went over there and endorsed all the Democratic nominees for Congress. So they pulled it and the curtain come in and she stood there and watched me and I did the same thing. Go get a bomb and blow that damn Wallace car up. Oh, yeah, we've been assaulted and run off the road, the other body.
You've been around campaigning with George Wallace off and on for a long time. Now, what do you think about him?
You want my honest, candid opinion about George C. Wallace of Cloud, Barber County, Alabama? He's a fake. He is a fake. The truth is not in him. He'll look you in the eye, tell you a lie. He's so slick and conniving, he'll make you believe it, and he'll come on out there and do what he wants to do. You see, and I've called him Little Jesus. He thinks he's in love with George Wallace. He ain't in love with the people of the state of Alabama or the United States. He loves George Wallace. And he'll tell you one thing and do just the opposite. And I've been watching this for 20 years. And that's the main reason that I was willing to put up $500 hard-earned dollars so I would be able to tell the people. You see, the people won't listen unless you have to get in a race. They'll listen a little bit, but I mean, you really got to get in a race like governor or Congress or something, and then they'll send them a listen. I don't say they'll agree with you or abide by your wishes and vote for you, but they'll listen more, you see. So it gave me a forum, and I blew $500. Well, I can't help it. Charles Woods and Dothan blew $500. They started blowing $500. That Coleman Brown, I ain't never heard of that nut, but anyway, he's blew $500, and it comes on down. I really, what you laughing about? It's amusing, but it's true. It's sad. It's going to be down there between Wallace and Brewer, you see. But he said on the platform, running for governor in 58, he said, if you people of Alabama elect me governor, I will not increase taxes. As soon as he got in there in the legislature, man, he taxed everything in the sun, everything except the air we breathe and the right to go to the bathroom. That's the only thing that he didn't tax, I'm telling you. And here come little Albert along, and of course he fell in there too. And he's a victim of circumstance when Lurleen passed away, bless her heart. Well, anyway, and so what happened? Little Albert had to carry on. But little Albert put 2 cents on a can of beer. I'm a Budweiser man. I smoke Tampa Nugget cigars, drink Budweiser beer, and vote for Shorty Fries. And I don't owe George Wallace nothing, Albert Brewer none of them. I don't owe none of them. And the thing about it, I'm out here putting posters up on the telephone poles, talking to people, trying to find out what's going on. And I can't tell a Wallaceite from a Brewerite. They're all the same thing. They're two-headed monster. Well, you can't distinguish between the two. In other words, to coin Little Jesus' phrase, there's not a dime's worth of difference, you see, between the Democrats and Republicans. I don't think there's a dime difference between Albert Brewer and George Wallace. It's all in there. It's a big snow job they're giving the people. Don't you see, giving us.
Well, what if you were to surprise us all and were to get elected? What was the first thing you'd do if you were up there?
What would I do as governor? Well, the first thing I'd do, I'd cut the governor's cut the term of the legislature, or the tenure of the governor's office down to 2. 2 years is long enough for any man to get all that money and steal enough. If he can't steal enough in 2 years to get by the rest of his life, he don't need to be there. He's too stupid. We'll reduce the governor's office down to 2 years. We won't have any special sessions of $100,000 for the people to load up on, see? And then we're going to have some finance directors running this thing. Now, old Seymour knows how to get that cash. He gouged them and stabbed them, and he took it. I can't understand. I'm so alive with me. What you laughing about? It's funny, but it's sad. You know what I mean? It really is. When you follow, you know, it's headed up. Got to go see old Robert Vance and try to make up my mind whether to go run for governor or what, you know. Well, he looked up under that bed sheet. We saw it that night, you know, and he said, looked up and said, I see some my enemies over yonder, them old humpy-dumpy Democrats and them old Republicans, you know, and I see old Wet and Blunt up there. And said, I see Seymour Trammell under that sheet. And I thought right then, he's fixing to say, yeah, and yonder at the end of the bed, that little Jimmy Dickens, no, that Mickey, no, it's Shorty Price. He's under that sheet over there. He's against me, too. And then I thought he'd see Janine Welch under there. See, but he didn't bring that out. And I asked old Seymour about that, you know, and I wondered who fell out with who, by what. I'm looking at, oh, by the way, I've got mementos all these years. I've shaken hands with presidents, I've shaken hands with tenant farmers, and I've picked cotton in the field, and I've done everything in the book, and been done to by everybody, especially George Wallace.
In summary, the Alabama governor's race this year has turned out to be the close affair that many predicted it would be. The deciding factor all along figured to be school integration. with Wallace hardening his old line as the campaign wore on. Some say that Brewer started out a good jump ahead, but Wallace gained ground quickly and may now be in the lead. In mid-April, charges of corruption in past Wallace administrations may have changed the complexion of the race somewhat. But whether people believed some of the charges against Wallace's brother Gerald, or whether they just considered it all a smear, is not yet clear. Wallace has offered all the charges as proof that an outside conspiracy is out to silence him and his movement. While Brewer stepped up his comments about getting rid of influence peddlers when he took over the office, Charles Woods was claiming that corruption charges were tainting both men, and that as a result, Woods would move into the front-runner spot. Much will be packed into this last full week of the campaign before the voting, but right now it looks like a close